You scaring me.
I'm not gonna lie to you, this theme song, the more I listen to it, gets better.
Yes.
Um, it definitely took me a second to get into it when I first started watching this season.
It's the lion growl in the beginning, that wow, dun, 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 dun. That intro right there, instant hook.
You know, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, verse to it either. It was very, like, just get to the point, like, Go Power Rangers. It didn't need a whole lot of preamble to it. It basically was like, "Alright, Wild
Mm.
Force, you know what you're getting into, growl."
And the opening shot of the Red Ranger with the lion behind him, and it kinda does that blur focus, dude.
Yeah, that
Like,
was definitely an interesting way to start.
yeah,
What year
that's
did it come out?
2002.
that's wild, no pun intended, how long ago this series came out, and it still holds up. In my opinion, it still holds up. From what I watched over the last few days, the damn series holds up.
Alpha, Rita's escaped. Recruit me a podcast with attitude. Ranger Rabble, we need you. Leo V, Kyle D, may the power protect you. It's morphin' time.
Go, go. Rabble, go, go. Ranger Rabble, Rabble, Ranger Rabble.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Ranger Rabble here on the channel. As always, I'm Leo V.
I'm Kyle D.
We are joined today by an extra special guest here on the channel. We got OGTaco in the house. What's going on,
Yeah.
brother?
What's up, fools?
OGTaco is a good brother from the TikToks. Go follow him on there, guys. He puts out some fantastic content. And we befriended each other and found out we're both Power Rangers fans. And I was like, dude, we got to have you on the podcast.
It was like an instant hit, right? It was like I think you posted something with your Gold Ranger staff. I was like, "You like Power Rangers too?" And it was like from then on, it was like I send them like all these TikToks of Power Rangers and everything.
Did we just become best friends? Yup. Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup.
Power Rangers, bringing people together 30 years later.
Yep. But today we are talking about Power Rangers Wild Force. One of my favorite seasons, actually. For as campy as awful as the acting was and everything, it was a really good season. Before we go any further, guys, if you're not following and subscribe to us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, go ahead and do them now. Click that little bell.
Follow us like the Wild Force Zords follow Princess Shayla around the animarium. So this season was the 10th season of Power Rangers. It was based off of Hyakuju Sentai Gao Ranger, which was very similarly done to this season. They had the same CGI Zords. Um, this season, I think, was very heavy in the CGI Zords. It was like the first season to really lean into that. They did
Yeah.
the like prop stuff like they did with everything else occasionally for a few shots, but for the most part, it was all animated. But
Yeah.
there
Now,
was so many Zords, it was kind of better that way. If they were to try to make suit pieces for every Zord that they had, it would have taken them forever.
was this after Lightspeed Rescue or is it after?
After Lightspeed Rescue and after Time Force, yeah.
Okay, all right. I was like, I'm trying to remember because it would have been for us. It would have came on Fox, right?
Yeah, this was the last season that aired on Fox because this was right around the time that Saban had sold to Disney. So they
Mm.
shot a lot of this season with the same Saban like production and crew. And then the next season was the first one that Disney really took over and did their own thing with.
Because then it went. So Wild Force was the first one to premiere on Disney XD in the mornings, right? Like
Yeah, it was
getting
like ABC Family or like
Yep.
something like that.
we'd be getting ready for school and we could catch like 2 episodes of Wild Force before we get in school, right?
Yeah.
Like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. ish type.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I see. I remember. I remember that.
And this season was interesting because they, for the like most part with the season, they all start out at the same time. This one, everybody was kind of rangers for different periods of time. So Taylor was a ranger for at least a year. And Max had only been a ranger for like 6 months. The Black Ranger was only like 2 months, and then we pick up on the Red Ranger in his like beginning journey into a Power Ranger. So they built the team up gradually, but it wasn't anything like necessarily based story wise where you really needed to, have them do that. They could have all started at the same time.
Okay, so this wasn't the first time Lost Galaxy, because because it's been so long since I've seen it. Lost Galaxy had animals too, right?
Correct. They were the first animal season.
Okay, I was like, because in Lost Galaxy, that's when they freed the Zords when they were caged up, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's not Wild for. Okay, I'm trying to like get my timelines.
Now, as you mentioned that, I want to say I'm at least like 76% sure of this. The timeline that this season that Wild Force goes on is like their big battle happened 3,000 years ago. And
Mhm.
if I understand correctly, 3,000 years ago was around the same time that the Galactabeasts were like around before they were imprisoned. So if I heard that information correctly, those two seasons are at least they had battles going on around the same time, one on Miranoi and one on Earth.
Gotcha. See, I'm looking it up right now.
I never put that together, actually.
Yeah, sometimes numbers come in handy. Unless you have 22 fucking Zords.
24.
28 if you include the ones that just show up at the end that never really get given to a person, but they call them out by name. But yeah.
Do they sing to them too?
You this fucking
Each day when the sun rises.
fuck you,
Ricardo
Shay.
Medina Jr. That was a Red Ranger.
The Red Ranger was he took some getting used to this season. He started off as that boy who was raised in the jungle by some tribe and then was given a picture of his parents and his little animal crystal and said, "Go forth and be on your way and find your parents." And 10 minutes later he wandered into a city and
So he was a Tarzan version of
correct. Yeah.
the Rangers. Okay. Nah, it's kinda because it's like it's been since I was a kid. I mean, the only episode I recently watched, I was talking to Kyle about it, Forever Red. Like I had to go
Oh,
back and
It's
watch
it's
Forever
so
Red.
good. It is
it's
the bar that all crossovers should be held to.
You know what
This
blew my mind? It was that they used the Beetleborgs.
yes,
They used the
dude.
Beetleborgs in this, and I was like, "Is that the Beetleborgs?" They used the costume from the Beetleborgs, and
Mhm.
that I mean, being 32 years old and watching that, you're like, does anybody not know that this is the Green Beetleborg and
It's
the
all connected. It's all
yeah.
connected.
In what universe did the Beetleborgs become evil and want to destroy the planet, the planet and all that?
The only
They
thing
they
we were
really
missing
went
was Common
hard.
Rider.
They really went hard with the crossovers for this season. Forever Red was great, and then the crossover they did with Time Force was also fucking great. It continued the Time Force story a little bit, so it wasn't just like regular crossovers where they just showed up to fight a bad guy one day. This actually had some progression with Time Force's story as well as Wild Force's story. So having the two teams come together was badass. There was a little bit of a flirtation between the Quantum Ranger and the Yellow Ranger from Wild Force. So it was a really cool crossover. The stunts were great in and
Yeah.
out of suits. It was the first American made crossover, so all the other ones had been Sentai footage. And this season was the first season to show like realistic blood,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was only like a drop, but like
Zanaku. When
yeah,
Zanaku was bleeding.
yeah.
I
So
saw him bleed.
This season was the first season to have a cell phone morpher, and it would not be the last season to have
So
a cell phone
stupid.
morpher.
I hated. Well, were the SPD more for cell phones, or no? Those are just like mini
Those are their
tablets.
police badges, but it had the
Okay.
same kind of flip open effect. Didn't
I
even have a cool look to it. It was just a gold phone.
It was kind of cool though how like the phone turned into the robot and the robot turned into the person.
Yes, that was interesting. How they and that was that morph at least was taken directly from the Sentai. So most of the morphs they change a little bit of it when they get to America, but that one was pretty heavily the
Mhm.
exact same thing.
No, it was cool, man. Like in my opinion, there were too many of the crystals, too many Zords that they acquired. That's always
Those little animal crystals, if I were to collect anything else from Power Rangers, it would be those because they're pretty fucking cool.
yeah,
But there's too fucking many of them.
yeah. And it was cool how like if the Rangers lost the crystal, thank you, and like Toxica picked it up, she could very well just be like, "It's mine now," and claim ownership of it.
Yeah,
Like,
very much so. They learned that the hard way when the Red Ranger was like, "Yeah, well, you can't use Wild Zords," and Zanaku was like, "Bitch, you want to try me? Do do do. I got my own."
Now I see what you meant about like the CGI. There definitely was a lot of CGI.
At one point, one of the Zords it was an armadillo, and they played soccer with it. So they had
yep,
like a whole CGI stadium that would show up, and the Megazord would do like a flying bicycle soccer kick to kick the armadillo Zord.
yep.
There's a simple explanation for
Explanation for
that.
that.
Home sweet headquarters.
The home headquarters for the Rangers was fucking sick. The
Yeah,
Animarium.
the floating turtle in the sky.
Yeah, dude, like that shit. It was dumb, but it was cool. It was dumb because how the hell are they getting up there all the time?
Right? And they never touch on that at all.
And not for nothing, but 5 people walking around with vests on that literally say, "I'm a fucking Power Ranger."
Yeah, it they don't hide it well at all. And what really got me going at the end of this season was that bitch Princess Shayla had the nerve to ask for those jackets back. She made them give them back to her at the end of the season. The morphers, I get. You don't need to hang on to those. That's too much power. But the jackets? That's like a souvenir, if anything. Like the one thing that you're like, all right, cool. Like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this fucking coat. I'm gonna wear it.
No, the Animarium was cool as hell. It was kind of interesting how they had all the animals just chilling, all the Zords just kind of chilling on there like they're actual animals. Um, I did not like the viewing globe they had. How it was just, oh no, a monster.
Out of a fountain. Yeah.
Yeah, and
They
then they can clearly see into the fountain.
they kind of had like a temple-esque looking structure that they would hang out in. And then Princess Shayla would also be able to live in and out of the pool, so she could turn into a like ball of light that would go in and out of the pool.
So
Or
is this based out of like New York?
Um, the I don't necessarily I think they called it Turtle Cove,
Mhm.
and they only called it Turtle Cove because when like 3,000 years ago when the Great Battle happened, the old Rangers used their powers and sent the Animarium up into the sky, and it went up in the shape of a turtle. So the lake that was down on Earth was in the shape of a turtle, so that's why they ended up calling it Turtle Cove.
oh, I
Mm,
didn't know that.
The
I
more you
still
know.
did not realize the Animarium was the shape of a fucking turtle.
Well, I was gonna say there's not much that happens up there. It's like, okay, once you realize it's up there and you get past the point that since they don't teleport, they somehow manage to get up there all the time. It's like, okay, the only thing to really worry about at that point is Princess Shayla, and she gets pretty useless after a while.
She's too busy clutching her necklace.
Evil endeavors.
So we got Master Org as the big bad, and I was talking to Leah before this podcast came on. I loved Master Org. I don't know if it was just because of the accent that he had or how he presented himself as the bad guy. It it was it was weird, but it worked.
He had a very odd Eastern European accent.
I'm going to get the Power Rangers. Come on, my Org army, follow me to battle.
You're not far off with that, actually. That's really fucking accurate.
And like it was cool how like when he blinked, the third eye blinked sometimes too.
Well, that their whole thing throughout the season is that he is a human that was infected with the uh org seeds that he ate, and then he became Master Org.
Yes.
So at one point they realized that he is a human because an org should not be able to like take his horn off, and his was basically just a hat.
So when does the Silver Ranger the wolf? It's a what was what was his, it wasn't the Lunar Wolf,
Merrick.
was it?
Yeah, Lunar
Yep,
Wolf.
yes it was.
Lunar Wolf. When does he premiere? Like
So
at what point of the season?
he shows up as the Duke Org General Zanaku, and he is basically like trying to fight the Power Rangers, but every time he tries to fight them, he gets hit with these memories of the past, and it's all these dudes in white cloaks with silver helmets pointing their daggers at him and sending him into the afterlife, essentially. Um, and it's revealed that when the moon is not full, he reverts back to his human form because Cole saw him bathing in the water with the dog. I thought this is a very cool like 6-part thing. The introduction of Merrick and everything, like it was a solid backstory. Zanaku was just dope as hell. Like
Yeah, the way they incorporated the wolf mask and that gave Merrick all that power that he needed 3,000 years ago to destroy Master Org and Org. Why do I keep saying Orc? Master Org, and then being stuck inside that mask and not being able to escape and then becoming evil. That was a really cool way to get your Sixth Ranger to show back up, but also fuck the team up in the process.
and his
'Cause he
his
did.
his friggin' scythe flute was cool as shit, man.
Yeah, and his weapon too, it was like a crescent blade.
Yeah.
So when he whipped that thing around, it was like a batleth from Star Trek.
In my opinion, was 10 times scarier than Master Org was.
10 times scarier than the other two henchmen.
Dude, leave Toxica alone, okay?
That's fine.
Spirits of toil and strife
Strife.
give this fallen org new life.
Let's
You know
just
what's
shoot
funny is that
beams.
Toxica, that her name is in Spanish, so Toxica is like a toxic woman. So they literally gave her a name. That's Spanish, Toxico, Toxica.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you know,
But
toxic
no,
woman.
she was cool, man. Like I like Toxica. Like it was very overdone and over exaggerated. But
It's
like
Power Rangers though.
yeah. And then we also had Gindrax, who was her little sidekick. Him in human form was actually slightly terrifying.
Yeah, he was a creepy looking dude.
Like he had the weird like he looked like Chester Bennington.
I can see it now that you say it.
Is that the
If you
first villain that we see?
Yeah, that's
Is that who
when
we
he,
just saw that just took the dog? Because I have it
Yes.
playing in the back behind you guys, so it's like Okay, they took the dog, so that's her.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, him in human form is weird. He looks like a Chester Bennington Joker.
That's messed up. I could see it though. I see. Okay, the morphers were cell phones. I remember that now.
Yeah. I mean, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. So.
Ah.
This guy.
Yay. But yeah, we had the regular org monsters as well that were throughout the season that were just the ones that they summoned and everything like that.
Random stuff that had the word org at the end of it. Car org, karaoke org, CD org.
Motorcycle org. He was my favorite, dude. He was just run around like a motorcycle.
Those putty things were a waste. They were not anything to putrids, I believe their names were.
That's all they fucking did, bro, is this.
I
Fucking-
think they actually released that figure in the Lightning Collection.
And the way they summoned the little putties though was like, oh, here's a shell full of goop. Now we've got monsters. Arise. Yeah.
Now imagine if we had modern day Power Rangers still. These teenagers is like, oh my god, they're gooning. Those are gooners.
I'm the Sigma Ranger.
What?
Give me some
Right.
of my goon.
Brain rot powers activate.
Oh,
Well, now it
dumb.
makes sense. The sludge, it's putrid sludge. I get it. Ha.
Well, because the whole point of this season was the Rangers had to protect the environment against pollution, and the orgs being slime and pollution. That's why they fight. So
Why
you
did you
have to.
shoot beans?
I don't understand why the bean vines were around to make them grow. But those were the same evil bean vines that Master Org ate, so I guess it kind of ties them all together somehow.
Wild Force, is it putrid?
Putrid, yeah.
Putrids.
Putrids? So okay, so that's what it's. So they did have an action figure of that, and
Oh,
that's
they did? They had that
It's-
one?
yeah, and it was one of the later releases. It doesn't say what series it was, but I have not seen that in the wild. Now I've seen when the Lunar Wolf came out, I found him at Walmart, but I've never been able to find the Blue Ranger. I thought I had the Blue Ranger.
If this season had come out today, you would have had a field day with all the Zords you could have collected.
Mega Madness.
So there was at least 4 different Megazords. So you had the first Wild Force Megazord that had the lion, eagle, shark, bison, and tiger Zords. The elephant Zord would occasionally like join on with that and be like a sword and shield kind of thing. Then you had the Conga Zord, which was the gorilla Zord, eagle, polar bear, black bear, and bison. Then you had the you had the Sixth Rangers Predazord, which was the wolf, hammerhead shark, and alligator Zords. Then there was the Isis Megazord, which was the falcon, giraffe, rhino, armadillo, and deer Zords. And then there at the very end there was like 4 random Zords that they just happened to call out. So there was the stingray, zebra, rat, and peacock Zords. They never actually showed up, but they showed up at the very end to be like, "Oh look, all the wild Zords came back." And there was one more Megazord in the form of Animus. Animus was the like direct ancestor of the Wild Zords and the Rangers themselves. So he was made of the Black Lion, Condor, Saw Shark, Buffalo, and Jaguar Zords.
Leo, I heard you said you mentioned a deer Zord.
Yes.
Each day when the sun rises.
First of all, there's way too many Zords. So a lot of these could combine in different formations. And I get it. You're trying to sell toys. You have a whole animal kingdom that you're going and themed off of. So yes, it makes sense. But do you really need
Yeah.
28 fucking Zords?
No, I completely agree. There were too many Zord add-ons in this. There were too many different Megazords they could have built. And I get it, they're trying to adapt to fight the bad guys and everything. My giraffe Zord got hurt, so let's change it out for one of the fucking bear Zords. Like, okay, I get it, but stupid.
It's also one of those things where if all of your Zords are going to be CGI, then you're spending a lot of time animating things instead of worrying about the fight. There could have been a lot cooler things done with the fight choreography for those moments instead of just being, okay, cool, let's just throw this into the computer and have it kick an armadillo soccer ball.
I mean, it could be worse. You could name a character Kite.
So, Animus, who takes the form of a Megazord, I guess the Rangers brought him back to life from a dark dimension, and he came back to life in the form of a small child who was named Kite. So he would run around and like steal food and be like a genuine douchebag as like well, not like genuine douchebag, but like as a kid trying to survive on the streets with no parents. But why would you come back in a form of a small child? That doesn't make any sense. And then he turns around later in the season is like, humans are so terrible. I can't believe that they would treat the planet this way. And then takes the wild Zords away from the Rangers. Homie, you were just running around and stealing. Like, you were not the best, representation of humans either. So maybe pump the brakes there for a second, temper tantrum.
That the whole Animus storyline was so stupid.
I didn't hate having like an extra, like, godlike Megazord that could bestow some extra power onto them, but it didn't feel like uh anything was ever really done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Other
I
than
agree.
again him throwing temper tantrums and be like, "No, humanity is not worthy of the wild Zords protecting them. Oh, this was just a test. I wanted to make sure you guys really cared about the planet, so now you can have them back." I will say that they used their like crystal sabers to control the wild Zords, so that was a nice way of at least incorporating their, I guess, sidearms
Well,
when they weren't using them.
what was the bird then? The freaking roller coaster car they all jumped into.
Okay, so that was the Soul Bird. So that was another Zord that that was an egg that they found, and then it hatched into a Soul Bird and then became the cockpit of the Megazord. So
God.
at first they were just standing there with their little platforms that they would put their swords on, and then after the Soul Bird came around, they would ride the Soul Bird into the Megazord and then hang out in there to give them extra power.
There's a simple explanation for that.
Thank you.
What was y'all's favorite Zord from the Rangers though? Like originals, what they came like, what they started with.
I like the Bison.
Was he a
Bison was cool.
bison?
Yep, the
He's not.
black one.
I thought he's a bull.
Uh, Bison. Yes, he was the Iron Bison. Was at least what the Ranger would yell all the time. The Iron Bison.
I thought
Screams.
he could have said Toro. Who? Okay, maybe I'm confusing them. Wasn't there one that was a bull?
Yes, Man the Defender.
with a Toro Zord.
Oh, okay.
Awesome armory.
So each ranger had their own individual weapons that came together, but it didn't make a blaster like every other seasons up until now had done. their weapons all came together to make a big sword. So you had the eagle sword, the bison axe, the fighting fins, the tiger baton, and the lion fang, and that would make their jungle sword.
The Lion
Now,
Fang was so dumb.
it was really cool. It was an interesting take on their like combined weapons to not be a gun, essentially.
Well, no, but the hand things for the lion were stupid.
Well, yes, that became its own gun unnecessarily. It had a Gatling mode, it
How?
had a cannon
How?
mode.
Where do you get a gun from mittens, bro?
It comes out the back.
Back of what? They go on your hands.
Yeah, where your hand would go. That's where the So like here's the lion's mouth, and then
Yeah.
here's where your hand is, and then if you were like take your hand out of here, the gun would come out into this area. So it
How?
would still be that like the morphing grid, bro. Princess Shayla's magic deer song would make it.
Each day when
No, please, no.
Not again.
I don't like it.
The Rangers did eventually get a like a blaster. They all got secondary weapons. So there was the Falconator, the Armadillo Puck, the Sword of Pardolis, which was basically a spear, the Rhino Shooter, and the Deer Clutcher that would make the Jungle Blaster.
Huh.
And then the battleizer for this season was not terrible. It was the Animarium buckle. So he had a belt buckle that would turn into a giant falcon wings on his back, and had like a big old gold shield.
Oh yeah, that
Pretty
was
dope
cool
looking.
shit.
Pretty dope looking.
Yeah, that was cool.
I would have really loved them to do a whole Battleizer series for the Lightning Collection. If they would have
Yeah.
just done like a whole thing of those, I'm pretty sure I would have bought all of them.
There's a lot of cool stuff of the Wild Force on Amazon.
The Golden Morpher.
So with our Rangers this season, first of all, I kind of want to talk about the suits because their suits were really a nice kind of callback to, I would say, the Mighty Morphin era where like each ranger had their own individual animal themed helmet, and like it definitely gave that such a sleek look to it. The shark that had the little fins off the side, the eagle with the beak down the front. So like they really just design wise were really cool. They each had like a number of stripes across their chest that would signify their ranger number, but the ranger number was never really like important in any way, shape, or form. It was just a thing that was on the costumes.
Yeah.
And randomly, they would occasionally have claws because animal themed.
That was my only gripe. My only gripe was those ridiculous claws for no reason.
It was very dope. As far as the Rangers go, we had a really strong team of Rangers. They may not have all gotten along at first, but by the end of it, they came together well as a team. It made no sense that Cole became the leader of the team uh, as the new guy, but their explanation was just as the lion is the king of the jungle, as are you the leader of this team.
There's a simple explanation for that.
Oh, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fucking Shayla. As far as the Rangers go, if I were to give my Golden Morpher to anyone, it would be Merrick. He definitely had the coolest suit. His weapon and his attack were badass, even though it was playing pool, which was
That was
silly.
cool though.
But it wouldn't make no goddamn sense.
This did his crystals are the pool balls.
There's a simple explanation for that.
It did look cool, but at the same time, like playing pool against your enemies.
I'm giving the Golden Morpher also to Merrick. Well, actually, to Merrick and Zanaku,
Yeah,
because
I would say they're one and the same.
The Zanaku arc was just, it was so well done. They gave you a full blown like explanation as to why he was the reveal, the full reveal that it was Merrick, which he was like, I saw him bleeding. Like at 34 years old, so I was like, I never fucking noticed that. His entire presentation too of the Zanaku War was just brilliant. Like absolutely 100% loved it. The silver and blue suit was cool as shit. I like that a lot. I also like how all the suits had the animal like on the chest, like up here.
Yeah, just in
Like,
case you couldn't tell by the helmet.
yeah. And
I was gonna
even
point out, I really like the morphing sequence.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
side of the face of the ranger, and then it's kind of like coming in and just like fading with them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that was really cool. I don't know how I felt about the cell phone, the morpher, kind of
that was
having those little
stupid.
legs. You know, like it made the little legs and just turned out. I was like, eh.
it's a phone. It's a human. It's a Power Ranger.
But I thought it was sick whenever it's like their side profile and then it turns into the side profile of the helmet.
That was they used that same kind of thing in Megaforce when they did their morph. They did this a similar with the side view with the helmet and it going up against their faces like that as well. So it's definitely been done again since then because it looks so fucking cool.
Not as cool
What's
as light speed rescue though.
Oh, bro, jumping through those shields. Oh, it's the fucking best.
Like,
all right?
Ah,
So Taco, who are you giving your golden morpher to, bro?
the one that always made an impression on me when I was a kid was the Red Ranger. So
Okay.
I'd have to, you know, because it's like I was fourth grade, so I was 11 years old. So it's like that Red Ranger always kind of like, but then, you know, the Silver Ranger, whenever the Sixth Ranger always joined, it was always like,
Yeah.
whoa, you know, it's like you weren't expecting, you didn't know what they were gonna look like, and it kind of steals the show. It's like the first time I can tell you the first time when I seen the Titanium Ranger, and I was like, whoa, you know,
Yeah, man.
as a kid. So it's like I don't know, but Red Ranger definitely. And just recently watching him and the Forever Red and how quickly he was like ready to jump. Like, what do
Yeah.
you need me for? You know.
I definitely, this season was full of a lot of really good moments, and again, it gave us Forever Red, which, like we all agree, is just the absolute greatest crossover. That like Leo said, that is the bar to which crossovers need to be for going forward. Because, like, number one, you're never gonna get it ever again because
Yeah, and they were all
Tommy's
still
no longer
young.
with.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it was like only 5 to 6 years into the ending of Mighty Morphin, so all these guys were still in their prime, still in. You know,
yeah.
seeing Tommy with spiky hair though was kind of like kind of threw me for a loop.
worst. The worst thing, like, really, Tommy?
It was like,
Really?
really, dude? Like you decided to come out with spiky hair, you know? Andros still had, you know, his long hair and everything. Like, and he
Yeah.
came out with long hair.
Tommy could
Re-
have rocked the ponytail.
yeah, Red Turbo, which just comes out. What was he driving? Like a badass, was it like Trans Am or something? Like he
It
just
just,
Yeah.
pulls
like,
out.
pulls up.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's the Red Turbo Ranger. And, you know, he's like, you're like, "Oh my god, dude, he pulled up in a badass muscle car." And then, of course, Red Range but Mighty Morphin pulls up and he's like, "You keep, you know, you didn't think you could do this without the
Yeah,
original, you know?"
pulls up on a motorcycle like a badass. Like, come on,
Yeah.
bro.
I wanted his bike to go. Yeah.
If I had to rank this season, I'm giving this season an 8 out of 10. I know it's very high, but the majority of the 8 is resting on Forever Red.
Between Forever Red and the Time Force crossover, it definitely buys back a lot of the points that the season loses for some of the overacting. Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go and give it I'm gonna go with a 6 on this one.
I don't remember much of it, so I'd say it's hard for me to put it. So this is you're giving it like a rating, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say I agree with a 7 because it's like I don't know if it lived because if I remember as a kid, I started to lose interest with Wild Force because it was like Lost Galaxy before that, Time Force before. Like I love Time Force, Lost Galaxy in space, like probably my top 3 right there. So it was like they like let their foot off the gas, and
Yeah.
they were kind of like sandbagging it through that season. You know what I mean? Like you said, Forever Red. You ranked it high because it's like Forever Red, kind of like, whoa, dude,
All
this
right,
is
so
kick
so
ass.
without Forever Red, then I'll go with like a 7 then. Without
Yeah.
Forever Red, I'll stick it at a 7. If that wasn't in the season, then yeah, 7. But because Forever Red is there, like I said, it's just I don't know, man. I remember, dude, watching those previews every week because they were taunting us every week with these clips from the show. And I remember I woke up at 8 o'clock or 7:30 on Saturday morning. I plopped my ass down on the couch, turned the TV on, and I sat there and I waited. I waited for that theme song to hit, and I'm like, this is gonna be the greatest
What was
fucking
the do you
thing.
could you remember what shows came on? Because it was 7 a.m. was cartoons, right? Did you remember what came on before Rangers?
God, back then, I wanna say I watched oh my god, I don't
This is
remember.
Mucha Lucha era. This is Mucha Lucha.
Oh, bro, stop unlocking so many core memories.
This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Mucha Lucha Pokemon Prime years
I
also.
think it was Pokemon that I watched before that. I think Pokemon came
I
on first.
It was MASH. It wasn't at MASH at 6 a.m. and then
Nash
Cartoon
was
Store?
always on early in the morning.
And you're just like, you wake up at like 6:30, it's just like, when do the cartoons? It's like, we didn't have cable. Dude, if you had cable, you were living a luxurious life in
Yeah.
that time. You know what I mean?
So true.
And then you just had to like you had to watch. We had no social media, so you had to watch it on Saturday, wait for it, live go the rest of Saturday, the rest of Sunday, and then come Monday, you have to go to school and try to remember so you could talk to your friends about it.
Hope for a rerun eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't go online, we couldn't go anywhere, it's like, well, you might not watch it until you're an adult because it's like at that time, it's like, when are you gonna watch it again?
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy now to have access to like every season. I'm so glad that the Power Ranger YouTube channel is up to date on episodes because those playlists are so helpful when you just want to throw a season on.
I I just see Kyle and Wyndham just binge watching these Rangers, like, "Pay attention right here, son. Pay attention."
He was watching Wild Force with me when I was watching it,
Yeah.
and, it was actually funny because something happened where, like, it was, like, a goof moment, and, like, he actually laughed at it. Oh, it was the motorcycle got, like, knocked over, and he, like, was like, "Oh, my kickstand wasn't down," and, like, at the corner, I hear and I go, "You have no idea what's going on." But I accept that.
All he knows is somebody fell down, so it's funny no matter who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I
Ooh.
couldn't give him a solid answer on this, and I'm still thinking about it.
I was
If
like,
if I was gonna be hunted down by one ranger, I would have to say,
and you could pick only one range, and, so we should add, you could pick one ranger to help you, but it cannot be a 6 ranger or, like, a leader.
okay. So if I'm being hunted by somebody, it's definitely gonna have to be Quantum Ranger.
Ooh.
And
Ooh,
if I
that's
get anybody to come and help me, I would I'm gonna go with White Dino Thunder.
ooh.
Trent Mercer
Wait, no,
Fernandez.
was he an original lineup or was he added ranger?
Well,
He was evil though, right? Wasn't he? The first?
I guess technically he is an add-on. So Mm, okay. Lightspeed Rescue Red. Give me Carter Grayson.
Quantum though, that's ooh.
All right, if I have to be hunted by one,
The Q-Rex alone, running away from that thing? No, thank you.
I'm gonna go with if I had to get hunted by one, Jarod from Jungle Fury, but while he's possessed by Daishi.
What the heck is bro? That's a ranger?
Yeah.
Alright, so you wanna get hunted by this guy?
Yep. But he's possessed by the big bad from the Jungle Fury season.
What year did dude, this is I might have to watch this because the suits are dope.
Yeah, man. That was a fun season.
Minus the morphers.
Yeah.
They used sunglasses as morphers, bro.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a
It was
choice.
bad. It was bad. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go with Jen from Time Force.
Good call.
She was a badass.
Dude, in the crossover for this season, when she comes out in that like hood, she rips it off and has this like black post-apocalyptic fucking like Time Force cannon that she comes out swinging with. Oh,
Well, I'm about to ask ChatGPT for the because I wanna know. It said, "If I had to pick one ranger from the entire Power Rangers Ultraverse to hunt me down, I'd probably go with Blue Ranger, Billy Cranston. Here's why. Brains over brawn. Billy was always smart tech guy, not the most aggressive fighter. If anyone would give me a chance to talk my way out, set up a distraction, or even team up with, it'd be him. He's compassionate. He wasn't a ruthless fighter. He cared about solving problems without unnecessary violence compared to Rangers like Tommy Green White or Jason Red, who would come at you hard. Billy might hesitate or try to reason. Is that not the most athletic in early days? In the first seasons, he wasn't as physically dominant as the others, which might give me a better shot at escaping. Tech weakness. If he relied on gadgets, maybe I could jam or sabotage them, even the playing field. If I wanted at least chance of survival, I'd avoid being hunted by someone like Tommy Oliver, any form, Lord Draken, or even the Psycho Rangers because they were relentless.
I didn't think about
The
that.
Psycho Ranger?
Psycho Rangers are oh.
Yeah.
All right, Taco Man, thank you so much for joining us here on the video. It's been a pleasure having you with us. Anytime you want to come by and talk Rangers, you are welcome to.
Thank you, man. It was fun.
For all of us here at Ranger Rabble on Nerd Daddy Productions, I'm Leo V.
I'm Kyle D.
And I'm OGTaco, fool.
As always, it's morphin' time.
World access.
Wild access.
May the power protect you. Later.
Later.